What's going on, everyone? This is Real Deal Sports. The usual guys here. I see Big Walt up there repping Cleveland.
Yeah, Lee all day. No, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
He is a fanatic. Okay.
Hey, that's what fan is short for, man. We're all
It
fanatics.
is. 100%. Big John is an NBA fanatic. Who's that? Shaquille?
I like that.
Yeah.
That's Shaquille O'Neal?
Yes,
Yep.
sir.
The big Aristotle? Shaq Diesel?
Shaq Diesel.
What kind of hat? What kind of hat? Same kind of hat or no?
Nope. No comment.
All right, we're gonna leave that alone then. So what's up, guys? How was the weekend? Y'all all good?
It's good.
Nice.
Great
outside.
weekend of football, and your boy got some dubs in his coaching gig, so I'm pretty excited. But I took one L this weekend, but we can get to that a little later. So
we don't get into
I like watching football. I like watching basketball, but there's nothing more fun than playing or coaching. Going out and doing it. There's no more fun than that.
Man, I swear, bro. I ain't
gonna lie, man. You get to see if all your knowledge pays off.
I ain't gonna say I'm the smartest, but I mean, I will say I got 2 wins out of 3. So
hey, that's all you need. That's all that matters. You won the game.
I take it.
Your team did enough to get.
And my daughter scored the first bucket this weekend. So shout out to my baby.
I saw the video. I think I like it. If not, I'm gonna go like it.
Baby girl, Akira.
Yeah, she was out there looking like a hooper.
I'm sorry, we're getting off topic. I'm sorry, I apologize.
So, guys, this weekend was the NFC and the AFC championship. 49ers.
You said NFC. You said NFC.
No. You're good. So, as we all have seen, Jimmy Garoppolo could not pull it through when it mattered most. And there was up 10. You up 10. All you gotta do is run the ball. They kept trying to pass, and it is what it is. I don't understand when teams are winning late in third quarter, early fourth quarter. Why not run the ball? Take off 5-6 minutes. Because the team ain't gonna call the timeout every time you run. Like, what are you doing? Why not run the clock? That's what I do.
I was about to say we could possibly say that, but I mean, until I guess we actually get into the coaching shoes, I guess. Hey. I mean, because we can say like, hey, we want to run it for 6 minutes. Just run. No.
But I'm not saying run it for 6 minutes, but
I'm
when
just saying,
pass, no time really gets off the clock.
Unless you complete the pass, but you just got the wrong person throwing that pass back there. I'm just saying. But
that's true.
I mean, at the end of the day, we all know that we want to try to run the ball at the end of the game, and to try to run the clock out. But of course, the other team knows that as well. So if they constantly keep loading up the box, I mean, it's only so much running you can do. So I mean, right. I won't say I could put all that on Jimmy G. I'm gonna have to put some of that on the coaching staff because of the fact of.
Well, I mean, this is Kyle Shanahan's third time doing it, but hey, that's third for another.
Yeah. So, but at the end of the day, like I said, Jimmy G, we all know he's not one of the greatest quarterbacks, and like I said, for them to keep putting him in these situations to where towards he has to make a play at the end of the game, he's clearly showing us that he can't get it done. So I don't know why they thought Sunday that would change, and as we all seen, he threw an interception and ended the game. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, Jimmy G. What they need to do in the offense all season, they need to figure out this quarterback situation, man. They need to see.
They're just going to trade him and go with Trey Lance, though.
And I was just about to say they probably going to have to go with Lance because I just don't feel like Jimmy G's that guy, man. He's clearly been proven he can't get it done.
I don't think you spend all them draft picks and time. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if they think they're a little uncertain on Trey Lance or what, but. You pretty much sold the farm for him. Now you just got to hope he does what Joe Burrow did or what he's currently doing. But what about you, John? What was your takeaway from the Niners meltdown?
Yeah, so my thing is, like, he didn't just think it was just a meltdown. Like I can't point to any part of the game where I thought, man, Jimmy G was just good.
He missed some
And,
throws though. He
no,
missed
he
a
has
lot of
moments. He
throws.
has moments, but I never see where like he looks dominant. Like, man, this guy looks like he could be face of a franchise guy. And like even like when he first started with the 49ers, man, they rattled off like 7 straight wins. And then I look at his stats and I'm like, well, what did he do to make all this happen? And he come out and first thing he talked about was injuries and stuff. Like, man, listen, everybody's hurt, man. You're not alone. You ain't alone. So I'd really think like Jimmy G, like Baker, man, like their upside, if they're healthy, man, their upside is they can get a really good team with a good defense and a good running game to the championship game. But at some point, he was there last year. He was almost wasn't
2 games away. He was 2 games away.
No, but they made it. They didn't make. They're one short of the AFC Championship, right?
Yeah. Last year.
Yeah. Talking about the Browns.
Oh, the Browns. Yeah.
But I still believe they won that game. Like I believe if we still call helmet to helmet, that's not a fumble out the back of the end zone and Browns win. So I don't even care about that. I don't think the Chiefs deserve to be there. But if Pat Mahomes don't get hurt, then also the Browns still lose anyway. So either way, but he did get hurt, and so that's part of the game. Whereas refs missing calls shouldn't be part of the game. So I think Browns won that game in my mind. But I'm just saying, like, if you give them a really good running game, good receivers, good defense, good everything, these guys can get themselves pretty far, right? We saw we talking about earlier about the Bears. We're talking about Lovie Smith got Jay Cutler to an NFC Championship and Rex Grossman to a Super Bowl. But at some point, those guys have to make a throw.
Well, and if Jay Cutler didn't play in that championship, he didn't play.
Yeah, and if they can't do it, then it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And so, listen, the running game for the 49ers was terrible. And after Debo went out, we got hurt or let it a little for a second there, like it really changed like the aspect of the game. It was like, you know what I mean? Like everyone knew what was going to happen. And there's nothing, the 49ers don't really catch you off guard with anything. I remember watching Juice with the Packers. Man, the Packers had like 14 trick plays lined up just for their fullback. You know what I mean? Like they would run all kinds of stuff. Like if he gets the ball in the 49ers game, you know what it is. It's just run straight up the middle. Like they're not creative at all. There's nothing creative about them. They're just old school, hard-nosed football. And if that don't work, then they don't change it. And so do they need a coaching change? No, because this team was built to play hard-nosed football. I don't know that any other coach could really take this team and do the thing right, because they try to change this team, and this team is just not that kind of team. So,
but it is a problem.
That's what I'm saying. I really think this thing caps off
3 times.
Yeah, I think this is the best this team can get. Like you would need a complete overhaul of this team for it to have a different identity.
I wouldn't change. I would keep Kyle Shanahan. Honestly, I mean, I just feel like he, like John said, I feel like he's perfect for that system, and I just feel like
But I still think
he's calling the plays, but I just feel like he doesn't have that guy to execute the plays. And Jimmy G's just not that guy, man. Simple as that.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, sure. If you can go get Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers, sure, that's the quick fix. But I mean, other than that, like I truly don't know, like, how you just. I really think this team is peaked at NFC Championship / I don't think they can win a Super Bowl. Like I think they have the talent to fight really hard, and if they stay healthy, they got good defenders and stuff. They can go a long way. But at the end of the day, a running game would open up if you have a quarterback who can throw, and they got to go get that quarterback, or else Jimmy G's really got to get healthy. Like,
so let me ask you,
I don't know how healthy that would be.
Do you think they're sold on Trey Lance?
They ain't got no choice.
They don't. They don't. But I mean, you could. I mean, we've seen it millions of times. Look at Jamarcus Russell and the Raiders. They thought they had a diamond in the rough. The rest is history.
I don't think they play Trey Lance unless if Jimmy has a 3-pick game or he gets hurt. Sure, then they give Trey Lance. But I don't think they're getting rid of Jimmy G just to bring up Trey Lance.
That makes sense.
Like I said, if they got the money or salary cap or whatever to pull off any one of these free agencies, and the free agents, I should say, that would be good for them. But if they can use Jimmy G as some type of leverage of, maybe like I said, getting rid of him or whatever, to where they could bring in, I want to say maybe a wide receiver or a little bit better running back or something like that, or anything. Because I mean, the defense I feel like is okay, because clearly the defense only held, what I'm saying, the Rams only to what, 17 points, 20 points or whatever.
Neither team could run. Like neither team could run the ball. It was bad. It
I
was
feel
bad.
like the defense is fine. They just feel like the offense. I feel like they just need a elite receiver or back.
Yeah, that's right, and that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, it came down to one. Like Matt Stafford played better than Jimmy G. Like both defenses were good, both running games were bad, but one quarterback outdid the other. And like I know that again, I know Debo was hurt and all, but so that does change things. Like we can't just
He got
ignore that.
smacked. He got smacked in back-to-back weeks.
Right, so that changes stuff.
He was taking some punishment.
Yeah, so you can't just ignore that. So again, man, it's one of the things with every team we say, like you got to stay healthy. It's not easy to do because you don't ever know when you're going to get hit like that. But also you got to have more than like one guy too. Like you got to have some more weapons. You can't be that reliant on one player. When Debo goes down for a minute, you got to still pull through, and they just didn't.
True. But on to the next, the AFC Championship. Chiefs Kingdom they were in for a treat. First two quarters, Chiefs came out looking like they were going to blow the doors off of Cincinnati. 21-3 to be exact. They went to overtime 21-10. I honestly believe that's what changed the game. You tried to go for the jugular and then just settle for 3. Because you got to think about it. Coming out the half, it's still a 2-score game, no matter what. But 14 is a little harder to get than 11, because all you really need is a field goal and a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So I think the Chiefs, I think they gave Cincinnati confidence. You tried to run that that flat with Tariq Hill. And I mean, it's really, you do it all the time. So it's like you either know it's going to be a jump ball to Kelsey or Tariq Hill underneath, catch, get to the pylon. That's really their offense. Or if Pat has a little time, he might try to run. But I think that was the problem. You tried to get too much. You tried to get too cute. You tried to outsmart them, and now you're at home. That's really it. And then second half, Pat Mahomes looked bad, man. With an interception in overtime, 55 yards passing, it was like, who is this? But I think Cincinnati did a great job shadowing him, not letting him, like John was saying earlier, or I think it was Walt. One of you guys were saying earlier how he just likes to scramble. When they were down, when they were down in the end zone, in the red zone, they could have scored, won the game. He got cute. Then Hubbard, the spine DN, was like, all right, I'm gonna just go. Fumbled the ball. Now you gotta kick a 40-yard field goal. It was just a lot of I think they outsmarted themselves. It's like, dude, just be basic. Just go forward. Get the ball to some of your playmakers if you can. And if not, you was eclipsing 5-6 yards of carry. What is with teams that don't want to run the ball?
Yeah.
It's working. It's working.
How are you running that? How are you running that efficiently and just get dominated on the clock?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like,
But you know what's funny? You know what's funny? Another team that's great with running the ball is Cleveland. But sometimes they just go away from it. I don't know that. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
If you won a game with 300 rushing yards, at least you won the game. Why do you know your quarterback just because he's $1 million guy? He ain't got to get 250, 300. Every game don't have to be that way. You just win how you, like Brady in the Patriots. Sometimes he would have 150 yards passing, but you won even like the Super Bowl. That wasn't a great game for him, but they ran the hell out the ball and they won. Who cares? People don't worry about, oh man, he won good statistically. Is if you won or lost. That's pretty much what it comes down to. If Pat Mahomes would have lost to the Browns, to the Bills, they wouldn't remember, oh man, he had 500. No, you lost. You lost. That's it. You lost. You didn't do enough to win.
Well, I guess I'll go. No, just playing. Well, me and Nico, we had a little side bet on this one.
Yeah, you don't even have to talk about it.
But I'm gonna talk about it because I'm
Okay.
I'm an honest guy. I ain't got nothing to
All right.
hide. So you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna talk about it. So we got a little side bet. I did say the Chiefs were gonna win, and I did get a little cocky in the first half. I will admit that. I definitely did. I definitely did. But yeah, but it's just the same as week 16 though. The Chiefs got up big. They had all the momentum going. The home. Well, they weren't at home. No, they were at home in week.
They were in Cincinnati.
Oh, that was in Cincinnati. But either way, they lost the momentum, and it just pretty much like you said, they got greedy. They were trying to run that same flat route to Tyreek, just how they did on the first touchdown pass to Tyreek, and it wasn't there. But like I said, they lost the momentum. They got greedy. Mahomes, he actually looked like he looked like a quarterback. A rookie quarterback. That was like the first time I've ever seen Patrick Mahomes play like
that in the Super Bowl.
Like shit. Like pretty much
that in the Super Bowl though. Bucks made him look real average.
I was about to say that Bucks defense was a little bit crazy. So
it was.
That's a little bit. But not saying that the Bucks and Bengals defense are compared, but you know what I'm trying to say. But
yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, like I said, Mahomes and them, they got greedy. They lost momentum, and just the Chiefs. I feel like the Chiefs lost this one on their own, man. Like I said, they had everything going. You know what I'm saying, and just that last final play of that first half, man. I just feel like after that, it was over with, man. And Bengals came out that third quarter, I think they scored on the first or second drive, and after that, it was they just took off in that defense, man. I feel like that defense is so underrated, man. That defense is crazy.
It is. They got 3 Buckeyes on there, but I'll say another day.
I'm about to say
I love what are you talking about that?
Right. Like I said,
off an overtime a Buckeye, but I ain't even gonna talk about that either. I'm gonna leave that alone.
I think that's the only reason me and Nico agree on anything is just when it comes to Ohio State Buckeyes.
Yes, sir, baby.
Right.
Hey, you know what's funny? Pretty much the 3 biggest defensive plays, like them last 3 minutes in overtime. Hubbard, he was the DN at Ohio State. He forced that sack, 40-yard field goal to end the game. Eli Apple almost had his hands on a pick 6 in overtime. He had it.
Just dropped it.
Like, bro, if anything, catch it with your body and fall. The game is over. And then next play, Von Bell. But it was a great play by Bates, though.
Yeah. Without that deflection, he wouldn't have.
Yeah, Bates has been balling in the playoffs.
Yes, definitely has.
Against Tennessee and against Kansas City, he's been doing his thing.
Absolutely. But just some things I guess the Chiefs got to fix, man. The offense is pretty locked in, I should say. Maybe they might need another explosive running back, I should say. Maybe McConnell is not really the guy, but maybe get an elite running back. Definitely the defense. They need the secondary linebackers. They need the whole total package of the defense, man. That defense has just been terrible all year. So
yeah. Whoever's a free agent, they need to call him.
Yeah, most definitely. But yeah, that's just the Chiefs, man. That's just some of the things I feel like they need to fix, man. And that's just my take. So, what about you, John?
Man, I actually liked what I saw from the Chiefs defense. Listen, look how much they were on the field in the second half. When they were given the proper amount of time in the first half to stay on the field, they were able to get it done. The second half, they were on the field the entire stinking game.
So you think they were gassed?
They were definitely gassed. How are you averaging 6+ yards a carry and you decide, hey, maybe we throw it, keep on throwing it. No, I'm gonna go with one guy, man. Pat Mahomes lost this game. I'm sorry.
Andy Reid too,
Every
though.
single
Andy Reid.
time he got sacked, it's because he was trying to do some extra stuff. There was never a point where his offensive line gave up a sack in the first 3 to 5 seconds. It was always 8 seconds into a play, 7 seconds. Man, one play, I'm pretty sure he's back there almost 9-10 seconds. Like he had time to do. Tyreek had. We talk about that little shot on the flat. In the first half, Tyreek had 78 yards. In the second half, he had 0. Like they did not use Tyreek well. Like I'm sorry, Tyreek is a lot of times he's a short route receiver. He's not always going for the house. They get him in space all the time. Why were they not designing plays where Pat Mahomes could dump it to him easy? If their pressure's coming that bad, I'm just saying, man, Pat Mahomes shot them in the foot over and over and over. Every single one of them plays that he tried to extend. I give the last year with the Super Bowl, he was on a bad foot and he wasn't trying to run in, and the Bucs got him because he was, he wasn't running. Like they just collapsed, and then the Bucs were able to get to him because he couldn't move. This year, his line did pretty good. I didn't think they actually did bad. They avoided getting sacked in the first half, and then come second half, he decided to run every stinking play, but not toward the end zone, but toward his own end zone. I honestly, with this team, man, that's a scary thing I talked about is this team's not getting younger. Like,
what did he run?
Huh?
What did he run?
He ran the wrong way.
It was like
he did, man. Bro, that
though. You ain't lying. Because even that play to end the game when he fumbled it, if his lineman is not back there chasing the D tackle, the game is over.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is the thing that doesn't get talked about enough with these comebacks, right? Is like the Falcons when they had to come back against the Patriots, like it's not like the Patriots did everything right to come back.
100%.
The Falcons also had to do everything wrong.
Mike
and
Shanahan.
That was the thing. The same with this one. It wasn't just like the Bengals did everything right to come back, but even then they still shouldn't have won. But what happened? Pat Mahomes did everything wrong. Everything. He looked like a rookie out there, man. I thought we were watching Sam Darnold or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no, rookie Sam. Well, he wasn't good this year.
We can say Sam Darnold is trash.
Boy, you rough.
Here's the thing, right? Here's my what I'm saying is, if I want him to succeed, but if he doesn't, then listen, you gotta, I gotta call what I see. Like, listen, like I want you to succeed, but you're not. So I gotta talk about what I'm seeing. And listen, what was it? I think a lot of Jets quarterbacks have that problem, right? A lot of guys, they're under pressure and they make a lot of bad mistakes. Kyler Murray had one of these games to start the playoffs. That's what he looked like the whole second half, and it made no sense because it's like, why is he playing like this? We're talking about him being Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning. We're talking about him with the greats, and he's playing like he's some rookie. And that's why I was like, I don't know what I'm watching, but this...
They putting Kyler Murray up there with the greats already?
I was like,
no, Pat Mahomes.
Okay. I'm like, wait.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying he was playing like that game Kyler had to start the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, this looks like some rookie stuff. I don't know what I'm watching. Like, I expect, some guys who are up and coming to have these type of games like Kyler. I don't mind those games because I expect him to have one of those games here or there. This is first. I think it might be his first playoff game or second playoff for Kyler. I think it's first.
No,
so that happens. Yeah, but when I see a guy with 5 AFC championships now under his belt,
he went to 4 straight.
Four AFC championships under his belt to play like that.
4-2.
No, man, his defense did everything they had to in the first half. His running game did everything they had to. There's no excuse other than Pat Mahomes. And so, that being said, what did they change in the offseason? I think they got to bring a little bit of youth back into that team. I think you got to, maybe protect them a little bit more on the line, help bring some youth on that defense. Your guys are up there getting older. Obviously, Kelsey's not getting younger. I don't know if his best years were ahead of him, but he's still got quite a few good years left in him. But you got to bring some youth back into that team. Guys who can play late into games, who don't get gassed and stuff. Like I really think that's what it's got to be. So we'll see. But I think that's the biggest change in the offseason for the Chiefs. But what went wrong with them? Yeah, Pat Mahomes.
What went wrong with him was his wife's post. No, I'm just playing.
Oh, buddy,
Hey, one of the what was trending after the games was
his brother.
I can't say it, but it was his brother. Yeah,
his brother.
What did he say?
Nothing. It was just people glad that they didn't have to see his brother on TikTok no more.
Oh, damn, for real?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Wow. I can't say what they were saying, but
I was about to say
the word bleep Jackson Mahomes was trending was like for a minute there.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, so look, check it out. I'm looking at the free agents, defenders, that the Chiefs could hit that line. Now, I don't really believe in this first guy, but you never know. He might rejuvenate. I don't know. Von Miller is one. Chandler Jones, Dante Fowler, Tyrann Matthews. They already got him.
Go ahead.
Stephon Gilmore, Jason Pierre-Paul, Hakeem Nicks, Devin McCourty, Joe Hayden, Jerry Hughes, Marcus Williams, Marcus May, Brandon Williams from Baltimore, Mario Addison from Buffalo, Al Fuller from Denver, Dante Hightower, Anthony Barr, Linville Joseph, Chris Harris. Chris Harris kind of up in age though. Davian Clowney, Emmanuel Agba from Miami, Vernon Butler from Buffalo, and that's Quandre Diggs, Bryce Callahan, and Hassan Reddick from Carolina. So you got some pieces here. If you could get Chandler Jones and JPP, one or both, that could be a problem.
I'd probably say, man, they need to get that cornerback positions together, in my opinion. Ooh. So maybe Hayden or Gilmore, for real. Maybe they can sign Hayden on a 1-year contract, on a veteran contract, because Hayden, he's okay, but he's still a decent cornerback, better than the cornerbacks I feel like they got already there. And then, of course, we already know how Stephon Gilmore get down. You said what?
What you think about that, John? Out of those names, Walt say Stephon Gilmore, Joe Hayden. I agree. No, I'm just saying, out of those free agents that are defenders, who would you holler at? Oh, and Patrick Peterson, but I think he kind of up in age too.
Yeah, Patrick Peterson's at that stage where he's about to get bumped back to safety, but he still has all the talent to play in this league, and the smarts.
But he would be better than what they got.
Hey man, whoa! We ain't taking shots at the Honey Badger though.
No. Well, he's a free agent too.
No, I said if Patrick Peterson's closing on having to drop back to safety.
Hey, though. LSU, he could be another LSU guy on the team. It ain't that bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they need. Listen, you got Jamar Chase ain't going away, right? I think the Bengals are legit. The Bengals are who I thought the Colts would have been if Andrew Luck had stayed just until they got a running back. Now they have a running back and Andrew's gone, right? The Bengals are that team now. And I expect the Bengals, I know there'll be some years where they're not healthy and they have some down years, but they'll be here for year in, year out other than that. So, you got to guard Jamar Chase for the next 6 years at least.
So you say worry about the back end.
Yeah, so you gotta stop that. And then, and then I say, maybe get one more piece to rush. Hey, man. I don't even say you have to go through the free agent, man. I say go get Khalil Mack, baby. And okay. But
it sounds good.
Yeah, but no, I mean, listen,
Bears ain't letting them go.
they got a few things they could patch up, but I think like more than anything they need youth. But I mean, at the same time, man, Pat Mahomes cannot leave his guys on the field that long. So I really think this team could have got it done if they're not on the field 35 minutes. Right? Like I don't know how you're running 60 yards a carry, and it's not like there's some fake yardage. You know, I mean, you know how your guy will have like 20 carries for 100 yards, and like one of them was like 60. So really, only had like 19 yards for. No, this wasn't none of that. This was legit like 6 yards a carry. They weren't popping off. They were all about the longest one was like 14 yards. So you know,
they've been doing that all season, man.
That's what I'm saying. They were running so well. So there's no excuse for why they went away from running. And then second, because Pat Mahomes, here's the thing, right? Is we criticized Aaron Rodgers last year when he lost the Bucks because they I don't forget what the play was, but instead of going for it on fourth down, they decided to kick the field goal or something, and he could have
like 4th and 4.
Yeah, and people criticize him because, like, look, you should have gone for that and closed the game out. You can't let Brady come back and all that, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, like, Pat Mahomes can also take the option to not pass. He can be like, hey, we're running well. Maybe we keep running. But instead, he elected to keep on passing, and he passed his way. He didn't – that's the thing is he didn't even pass, man. Like, he ran backwards. Like if he would have just put the ball up, I would have at least given him a chance. But I mean, bro, Tyreek got targeted twice in the second half.
He couldn't get open. They was playing.
I don't believe that for a second. I don't believe that for a second.
Over and under. What you
go watch?
He was only 5'10". He ain't Calvin Johnson. What do you want?
It don't matter. How's a guy got 7 grabs, 78 yards, 6 grabs, 78 yards in the first half?
Game planning. It happens.
But that's my point is go back and look at them plays. You cannot tell me that someone wasn't open on them plays. Like you,
all right, so let me ask you this.
I watched them plays, man.
How did he have 200 against Tampa last year? And then the rest of the game, he didn't do much. They game plan. They went into halftime and was like, we're not gonna let him beat us again.
But they were also up they were also up in that game. Like they didn't need to keep throwing for 200 yards. Like
they were also up in this game and they couldn't throw.
Right, but that's where you start running. That's where they should have run the ball.
I agree.
And that's what I'm saying. Pat Mahomes could have elected to run it, and instead he ran it himself and ran it the opposite way. I don't get it.
They need to call. They need a big receiver. They need to call Mike Williams from the Chargers and try to take him from the Chargers, get him to Kansas City, and be the third option. But who wouldn't want to be he might not want to be a third option. But
this to me reminded me of Cam Newton not jumping on that ball. Like that's how ridiculous this decision was. The decision making he was making was just ridiculous. It didn't make sense. It just did not. It looked like some rookie stuff. And for that, I won't blame nobody on his team except him. Like, there's no way.
Well, in that case, we're gonna agree to disagree. But we're gonna go with the next topic. Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr.
Damn, you ain't have to say his whole name like that.
Skip Bayless always say it.
Sheesh.
Skip is a fan.
Super Bowl, baby.
Huh? Oh,
Rams.
Dude, that ain't even their colors no more. Get a new one.
We're going to the Super Bowl, baby. We're going to the Super Bowl. We don't care.
Hey, would that be considered throwback?
Yes, definitely.
Do they even wear them jerseys?
Hey, them are the Rams. I know. All right,
I ain't gonna lie. I
like those. The gold and blue. I like those.
The new ones or the old ones?
The older ones. It's like because it was like a navy. It was like a navy blue and like
navy and like a bronze.
I like that.
Hey, we used to be the Cleveland Rams. way back.
Here you go.
I'm only a Cleveland Ram just for this year. I'm sorry. I love y'all, Cleveland. You already know, but some of y'all will disagree to disagree with me on this, but because with Odell, but I just want to see him. I want to see him succeed, bro. So, but we ain't talking about him. We talking about Mr. Brady,
Mr. Brady, Mr. 7 rings, Mr. 12, Mr. TB 12, Mr. New England, Mr. Tampa Bay. The winningest
I'm holding this up the whole time.
is he the winningest quarterback?
I think so.
Winningest player.
Yeah,
Is he?
everything. I feel like.
I mean, I know he got 7 rings, but I mean, I didn't know he was the winningest. You know.
Yeah, I know he got the most. Yeah, he got the most career wins. Yep, 243.
I know how many losing seasons he got.
None.
Imagine that. Imagine that. You play 21 years and you never have a losing season.
That's crazy.
That is an accomplishment in itself.
That's just greatness, bro.
I thought Wilson was on track for that until this year. Like, it's not easy, man. Even the greats, like, they all have this year, like
100%.
I'm not putting Wilson in the same category as Brady. I'm sorry.
No, but I'm just saying, like, he looked like he was about to do, follow in those kind of, winning, but it's not easy, man. Big Ben had his years where he had some tough years, but like winning every year is tough.
Ben.
But Brady got it done.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn about Ben.
I don't either.
So what is one thing you guys will remember about TB12? Like, what's one of your greatest moments of his that you've seen live?
I gotta say, I got a couple. I'm gonna start off with 2007, if I'm not mistaken. Him and Moss.
The year they lost.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
No, I was just being.
Almost undefeated. I don't care about the Super Bowl. It was rigged. I don't care. It was rigged. I'm just talking mess, but I'm talking about the regular season. That whole regular season, Randy Moss and Tom Brady, bro. Like that duo.
Yeah.
We've never seen a duo like that since like.
Hey, imagine
Joe
if you would have had
Montana and Jerry Rice. Like that combination was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Tom Brady threw for 50 touchdown passes that year, and I think Randy Moss lost like 23 or 25. So that's half his touchdowns right there though, going to Randy Moss. So that combination right there was just insane to me, bro. Another one for me, of course, you know what I'm saying, Super Bowl 51, the comeback, bro. Like down 28 to 3. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that I doubted him, but it's just the fact that the whole world was pretty much doubting him. Like he was not going to come back from 28 to 3, but for him to pull that off, bro, like that's probably like one of the greatest comebacks I've ever seen in my life, bro.
Go ahead, John. What you got?
My 2 favorite moments.
Hey, man, no, like it's tough, right? Because like there's a lot. I mean, even the years he had garbage. I remember when he lost in the AFC Championship with Caldwell and Jabbar Gaffney, and that was his receivers, like to the Colts when Peyton finally beat him. When Peyton finally beat him in the AFC Championship game.
Who was you rooting for?
When it comes to AFC, I don't have a favorite over there, except maybe the Bengals, and they weren't doing it that year. But and lately the Titans. I'm a big King Henry fan, but outside that, I don't really root for nobody in the AFC. I just enjoy the games as is. But I'm a big fan of a lot of players on both sides, though, man. I mean, you had Reggie Wayne, Marvin Harrison, on Dwight Freeney, Robert Mathis, and on the other side, you got, whatever. You get the story.
Bob Sanders.
Oh man, I love Bob Sanders. Like, but like, my family are big New England fans, so I hear a lot about New England. So it's hard. Even if he wasn't in the news, I'd hear about him all the time. So, but yeah, I mean, even those games like were so great because he had no right to be in that game competing down to the wire with Peyton Manning with his receivers. And then people like to point out like, well, he's had Gronk, but like, okay, but look how many of his Super Bowls like Gronk was hurt, like didn't even play. Like Gronk didn't, like, even though he was on the team, he was sitting on the bench. He was injured. He did not play those Super Bowl, like
one or two of them. Seattle and the Rams.
So Gronk has won his share of Super Bowls, but at the same time, like Brady's won some with Gronk sitting on the bench. And so like to be able to just next man up, like he's always been able to do that. Now, has he always been able to win Super Bowls? No, but he has been able to make guys that listen, Wes Welker had 1,200 yards in his first 3 seasons in Miami and San Diego. The next 3 or 4 seasons in New England, he averaged 1,200 yards. Like Wes Welker was not on anyone's radar to be a top-notch receiver. What happens next? He just plugs in Danny Amendola. He changed the game. I mean, before him, man, it wasn't, you'd have a 1,000-yard tight end here with Mike Ditka or Shannon Sharp here or there, but they weren't doing it year in, year out. This dude, it was always receivers, 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 and then all of a sudden he went, so I'm gonna go all slots and all tight ends and just change the game after the Randy Moss thing. And like he had Aaron Hernandez and Gronk and then Welker, and then he had almost like 5,000 yards with just tight ends and slot receivers in one season. And it was like, all right, this is gonna be new. Like this is this gonna be the new NFL? Now it's not, because you still got great receivers who are just unstoppable. I mean, having Randy Moss and Dante Stallworth was amazing season and all that, but then Wes Welker came out of nowhere too. But yeah, I mean, the Edelman. Edelman's another guy that no one gave, no one would have been like, this guy's a game changing player. And so for me, he reminds me a lot of Steph Curry. He makes everyone around him better. Like when you watch,
that sounds like LeBron to me.
Huh?
That sounds like LeBron to me.
I don't know. We have different opinions of LeBron, but
here we go.
Serious?
Yeah, that's another thing for another day. There's two things in the media that are always said about LeBron. He's not clutch, and he makes people around him better.
And Curry's clutch? Curry just had his first
on the opposite side of both of them. I think
Curry's clutch?
I think he's one of the most clutch players. I disagree.
He just had his first clutch basket this year. His first game-winning bucket was this year.
Who?
Curry.
No, LeBron. Talk about LeBron. When they talk about LeBron, they say he's clutch, and they say he's not clutch, and they say he makes everyone around him better. And I disagree with both statements. I think he's very clutch and one of the most clutch players of all time. And I think he does not make people around him better. I think he drags everybody into success. And but that's a long story for another day. I think Steph Curry truly makes everyone around him better. He revived JaVale McGee's career, and if anyone can do that, I don't. You have to be great to do that. That's all I'm saying.
You know what? Next subject. We're gonna just leave it.
Oh my God, this is
all right. So it don't last at 5.
Listen, I will bring up the last two times those dudes met in the finals. Look at the stats.
You just said Tom Brady makes other players great. You can't tell me a season where LeBron has not made his other players great, bro.
Well, Curry, I mean, almost every season, but
Curry just started maybe to start getting his players great. You know what I'm saying? Within these last couple of years, bro. But I'm
gonna bring up the stats from the last time those two met in the finals, and we're gonna compare Curry's bench to LeBron's starters. Just compare those two, and you'll see how Curry's bench outperforms LeBron's starters. Like
he never had starters though. That's what I'm saying. It was always just LeBron. So of course anybody could outperform his starters because it was only LeBron, really.
Well, one of them had Kevin Love and the other one had JaVale McGee, and yet somehow JaVale outperformed Kevin Love. So, but that's another story for another day. But my whole point is like Brady makes people around him better, and it doesn't matter who they are. He loves having superstars. He pleaded hard for AB, and he got him and whatever. But AB goes out, and what's he do? He comes back like three touchdowns against the Jets. I know it's the Jets, but comes back. So I mean, there's so many great moments, but just the fact that he makes people around him so much better, and no matter who they are, you know what I mean? It made it fun to see, because it was like, I can root for this guy, and I don't have to worry. You know, I'm not the biggest Brady fan, but I'm just saying if you were a fan of Brady, you could root for him no matter who was around him. You know, you weren't like, oh, he's gonna be garbage this year. Like, no, he was gonna be good every year. It doesn't matter if it was Scotty Miller or Randy Moss. Like, you knew they were gonna be legit, and that's what made him fun to watch.
Yeah, I agree. My biggest moment.
I don't.
My biggest moment from Tom is really, it was week 16 of that 2007 season, and they were undefeated, 15-0. Relax. I got you. Relax. And they didn't have to win the game, but Tom, just with his competitive nature went and proved the point to the Giants, and then later we all know what happened later that season. But just off of that, because it's like, bruh, what do you get? You got number one seed. You then secured home field advantage. What more do you need?
They was trying to go for the undefeated season. Clearly.
Can I tell my story?
Hey, you know what? No, wait. All right, we're gonna talk about that season. My favorite moment. I believe it was fourth and I don't know, was 4th and 10 or 4th and what, but it was the Patriots were up 45-7 on Washington.
And he went for it.
And he went for it on 4th down and made it 52-7.
I think I remember that game too. I think he ended up having like 5 or 6 touchdowns that game too, I think.
I think he went for Randy too. I think he went for Randy on that play. Like they were just like, let's do this.
Right. But yeah, man, he was a competitor. And I think he is the ultimate proof of no matter where you go in the draft, if you're good enough, you can do it. 6th round pick. And now he's the winningest quarterback ever. He has more rings than every franchise in the NFL. It's like, he if this was a script, somebody would throw it away. It's like this can't happen in real life. And then you play 22 years. And you ain't the most mobile guy, but you mobile enough to play 22 years and win 7 Super Bowls.
Yeah, I was just about to say it might be about how good you are. It's just about how hard you work. And
both.
Yeah. And like I said, it's just Brady. Everybody just said his work ethic was crazy. He was always there, the first one there, the last person to leave. He wanted to learn the game, and he did. He mastered it, clearly. So
100%.
That he's the greatest he's the greatest in my opinion, man.
Hands the greatest quarterback of all time for sure.
Man, he is the greatest quarterback, player, whatever you want. We can argue this all day. He is the greatest player to play the NFL game, in my opinion. Sorry, there's nobody else who has 7 Super Bowl rings. I mean,
true.
No, not enough. Not the wins, the yards. Nobody ain't gonna be touching them yards or wins, bro.
True. Now I got something to ask y'all after hours, but we don't want to get them on our sauce. So
let the people here.
No,
let the people here.
You're gonna have to pay $10.99 a minute to hear us talk about it.
This is the OnlyFans.
Hey, listen, we already.
It ain't, but they getting paid.
Hey,
what you say, John?
The people. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
No, we've already said the NFL was the Patriots game was rigged. So listen,
wow, why would we do that right now?
He did. He already said the
all the times to bring that up. We talking about Brady right now.
He said the 2007 game was rigged. So
we ain't gonna never get sponsored by the NFL now.
Hey, I think we will, just because they gonna love our humor.
You think you tough? Like, oh God, John, look what you done did. All right. But the next subject, guys, is a very serious topic. Former head coach of the Miami Dolphins, Brian Flores, sues the NFL for discrimination. I think this is a bad time for the NFL.
I'm about to say,
this news shut down the Brady retirement.
Can you read his quote, please?
That I was reading earlier?
Yes, sir.
Of course. So, Mr. Coach Flores said that, it's messed up, man. But I mean, if it's true, NFL is gonna be in some trouble, man. They I don't know how they get out of this one, honestly. And I think it puts Mike Tomlin in a bad position, because now, he's one of one, really. He's all we got as far as the NFL goes. But Brian Flores, a couple of things he said, man, was, Bill Belichick told him 3 days before he was going to interview for the Giants that they had already gave the job to Brian Dabble. How you say it?
Dabble. I think just Dabble.
Yeah,
Dabble.
yeah.
The former offensive coordinator of the Buffalo Bills. He also said that he went for a meeting with the Denver Broncos and former general manager John Elway was an hour late and hungover. And he also says Flores claims that in the suit that he was only interviewed for the job because of the Rooney Rule and an NFL policy requiring teams to interview minority candidates for head coaching jobs, and that the Broncos never considered him a legitimate candidate for the job. Now, we talked about it earlier, but I want to start with John. What is your take on it, John? Just hearing it, the news, everything we've heard in this short amount of time. What's your take on it?
I don't. So I understand the purpose of the Rooney Rule, right? Like if these guys are just going to be clowns for the sake of being clowns, then you have to force rules just for the sake of having, rules. Like you have to because here's the thing. I strictly believe in hiring the best man for the job. So I don't care what he looks like, what she looks like. Hire the best person for the job, right? So if that means that 70% of the players in the league are black, then I'm for that because if they're the best players, they're the best players. Like I don't want, I don't want to see a bunch of guys that are like, all right, we have to have a certain representation of each group of people in the United States. Listen, man, it's going to look like it's going to dumb down the competition level, right?
Right.
But so the same applies to coaching, right? If the coaches, if the coach is not the best coach for the situation, then I say you don't hire him. But here's the thing. Where's the proof that Brian Flores is a worse coach than any of these guys they're hiring other places? Because all the proof to me looks like he's actually better than most of these guys. So there has to be another reason. Now we bring into what he believes that reason is. And here's the thing. He's probably right. Now, he threw a lot of people under the bus here, right? And these are statements.
Especially Bill Belichick.
I thought John Elway, especially. I thought John Elway took
most of them
under the bus though. Like I mean, he's.
But here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying is these guys now.
Okay, look, I'm glad you brought that up. Just imagine. Okay, look, me or you going into one of those interviews, or we interviewing somebody for a head coaching job, and we come in there an hour late. I'm talking to you, Nico, and we come in there an hour late, and we smell like booze. They gonna say something to us before they say something to the person that we're actually interviewing.
I'm agreeing with you. So that's what I'm saying. He threw a lot. He called out a lot of guys. Like even though he's suing the NFL, he called out a lot of guys in the process. So here's what's going to happen now. Now we're going to start to see these guys start to call out his character, right? We're going to start to see. Watch out. We're going to start to see like weird, so maybe a text or email or anything. Well, they're going to try to find anything. So I hope
something they tried to do to him when he first got released from the Dolphins.
Remember, so I hope that like Brian Flores has a clean record because the NFL don't play with stuff like this, right? And that's why I'm nervous about him not ever finding another job in the league now. Because
he's definitely Colin Kaepernick for sure.
We'll see. But like I said, because here's the thing: there are still 2 more positions out there open, I believe. We'll see who gets those. But I think really this could end it for him. I think this could end it for him. So that's where this is now. Like now, not only could they end his career, but here's the thing, right? If they take away the ability for you to have a platform, right? So then they go after your character as well. And so now we're gonna see. Like I hope because I like Brian Flores. I'm a big fan of his. So I really hope that he's above board and stuff because we're gonna see. This is what the NFL does, man. They're the best at this. Like. The videos at AB, the NFL was sitting on them videos for 2 years before they released them, right? Like they had them videos. You just think it was weird that they just happened to come out the summer he complained about the helmets. No, the NFL was sitting on them videos for years. They knew about them videos. Like, so this is what they do. So I really hope Brian Flores is above board because the things he did with that team were amazing. Listen, he had two winning seasons with that team the first time that team has had back-to-back winning seasons since 2003. He had Tua for 12 games, Jacoby for 5. He had Tua for 9 games. Fitz played 7 the year before. The year before that, Fitz played 13. Josh Rosen played 13. Like, this dude was splitting quarterbacks every single year with like almost, and still to be able to pull off winning seasons like that with inconsistency, like that shows like great coaching. That's what that comes down to. Like, and so I hope he gets another shot. I hope this isn't it for him. But hey, I love it. I love it when he, like, that's the thing, right? Is I watch, I watch these interviews where people call out, right? We just had the princess call out the people in England, and then she didn't say no names. So it's just like, it was very vague and no one got in trouble. I like this. I like it when they call out names and say, no, that guy did it. That guy did it. That guy did it. Let's get him.
Not necessarily he did it, but he informed me.
No, but I'm saying, like, this guy did this to me, you know what I mean? And so, now Lisa, this is all his perspective. This is not, we've yet to hear their side of the story, but still, I like it when people are honest up front and say, listen, these are the people. I'm not just saying the NFL as a whole, because if you say that, nothing ever gets done about it. I like it when they call out names, and so, and that's how changes get made. So, I'm here for all of it. I love it.
Go ahead, Walt. That's on you.
I mean, honestly, that y'all done pretty much summed up everything of pretty much what I'm trying to say. It's just the fact of just how I want to say effed up the NFL is, and I'm gonna speak from the heart. I don't give a damn. Sponsors, whatever, y'all kiss my ass, whatever. But at the end of the day, bro, the NFL, man, it just seems like it's full of BS when it comes to hiring minorities, not just black people, just anything other than white. And I just don't like how the fact that they're just trying to control everything, what I'm saying, just with the whole the game planning, the coaching, the wins, the losses. I mean, let's be real, what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, I mean, Brian, he's right. And I just really wish more people will back him up, so where towards they can start actually getting down to the bottom of this and start figuring out getting them people out of there. Honestly, like, I feel like some of them people don't even need to be in the NFL or have those jobs, bro. If y'all, especially like, come on, bro, John Lynch, you coming in an hour late and then you smell like booze, but that's
Elway,
whatever. But still, that's not professional. And then just imagine if one of us did that, something like that, we would be looked down at as, oh, he's a drunk, or he doesn't need it, whatever. But I'm just at this point, I'm pissed at the fact that we still got to have racism and all this other crap still going on in today's world, bro. It's like, it's the fact that my skin color determines whether if I get a job or not. Like that's just the most dumbest shit,
And we're talking about this because it's the NFL, but no, he's right. Like, it happens everywhere, right? Like, you go into a warehouse and they'll brag about how, like, they hired like 80% minorities. And then you look at everyone, like, on the forklifts are minorities, and all the managers and the bosses, are not minorities, right? So it's not just the NFL. It's true. It happens everywhere, but we're talking NFL because we're a sports show. But listen, we talked last week about why I don't buy NFL jerseys. I didn't want to say it, but this is why. This is why I've had an issue with it. I love football to death. I do not love the NFL to death. I just wish, but this is the NFL, man. And I've had a problem with them for a long time. When they had last year, they had a whole referee crew of all black, the first ever all black referee crew. And I was happy for those referees, but I thought it was disgusting of the NFL to do that, because they did that for their own publicity, to be like, look what we did. No, here's how that's supposed to happen. You hire so many minorities because they're good at their job and because you don't care what people look like, that one day you accidentally put out a group of all minorities on the field and you're like, oh, I didn't even know. That's how it's supposed to happen, because you hired so many that when you look out one day, there's just like all minorities on the field and all people who represent different walks of life. You're not this whole, all right, let's go get all 8 of our black referees and put them on the field today. Like, that's so disgusting, man. And again, I was happy for those referees. I'm glad they got the opportunity and all that stuff, and a big moment for them, whatever. But when you force a moment, it's not real. It's not real. Like you can't, and that's what I don't like about this stuff, man. It's like if a moment happens naturally, that's a good thing. That shows progress. When you force a moment, and the NFL does it all the time, and it's just like it's so gross, man. It's so gross. It's just it pisses me off.
Yeah, this is just one
I
of
agree.
those topics that just, I mean, like I said, I know we got to talk about it, but at this end of the day, man, it's just BS, man, and it's just sad, but it's still going on in today's world, and we got to keep talking about it. Unfortunately,
100%, man. And it's like with these coaches, it goes back to that saying. A lot of times with us in the black community, you got to be twice as good to get half the benefits. You know, like I was telling you guys earlier, Jim Caldwell, Lovey Smith, two black coaches that led teams to Super Bowls, Super Bowls. Jim Caldwell, he got another job after that in Detroit, but Lovey ain't got one. But then on one hand, you hear Vic Fangio didn't do nothing in Denver, but now he's the head candidate for the job in Jacksonville.
Yeah, people say, well, Lovey Smith's way of coaching doesn't fit the new league and stuff. Go look at the 49ers. That's what Lovey Smith was.
Yeah,
That's what Lovey Smith was.
100%.
I'm
Average
not buying none of
quarterback,
that.
great defender.
So yeah, I just and I don't think, back to what you said earlier, I don't think he was critical. I don't know, maybe I misread it. I didn't think he was critical of Bill Belichick. I actually thought he
No, he
was
wasn't critical.
thankful of Belichick like reaching out to him and being like, "Hey man, like, I thought they were considering you, but apparently they went with Dabble." Um, you know, listen, kudos to Dabble getting this job. I don't want to take away from what he did and all, but like this guy, Dabble was an offensive coordinator for a long time, and with the Bills this year, he had the number one scoring offense and all. So kudos to him, whatever. But he's been an offensive coordinator for a long time, and this is the first. I mean, like this is like Steve Nash getting handed like the keys to the kingdom, right? Like, yeah, of course he had a great record because look who his offense was. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it's and so to be like, look how good his offense was, and it's like, well, yeah, look what players he had too. Like he was also the offensive coordinator for Cleveland when they were 27th in the league. No shot at Cleveland. I'm just saying,
But it's
like,
funny though how he can
but I'm
get
saying
that
like that's
after
my point. Is
one
like
good
this,
Josh Allen
who this
season.
guy was. His potential is based on his talent.
Hmm.
So how you gonna give someone like that the keys to a new team and be like, all right, it's all yours. You're worthy of this, when it clearly shows that his worth is only as good as his talent. Whereas Brian Flores, like I said, had different quarterbacks every stinking season and was still able to get it done. I
But
just,
I also feel like that's a slap in the face to Eric Bieniemy because all right, you got what one great season, maybe good 2 seasons with Josh Allen, but Bieniemy has been there for 4 years, 2 Super Bowls, 4 AFC Championship games, and he don't get considered for nothing. Like the Bills ain't even went to the Super Bowl since the '90s, and he just oh man, he hot. We like him. He doing exactly like bro. What about my man down in Kansas City? What more does he have to do? Like, come on, bro. It's blatant at this point. It's like, look. I mean, even with Joe Judge, how you a special teams coordinator and you get a head coaching job?
I mean, David
How
Culley, they brought in the Texans brought in David Culley just to fail.
exactly? And they were a tough team to beat at the end of the season. They was beating the Chargers and making a lot of these games. If the Chargers don't lose to the Texans, they probably don't have to beat the Raiders to get into the playoffs. And you just let them go? Like what? Like come on, man. But
And
it's
yep.
it's I'm interested to see what, the voices of the black community essentially. Not voices of black community, that sound bad. But black voices like Shannon Sharp, Stephen A. I'm interested to see what they say.
I was just about to say, I'm just interested just to see how many people going to possibly back him up, or you know what I'm saying, just kind of follow his same suit or whatever. If it is more stuff like this going on,
and he's definitely like he's the Colin Kaepernick of coaches. Honestly, it's gonna be hard for him to get a job after this.
That's the thing is this. We're still early in this, right? We're real early in this because we've heard his side now. Now we're gonna hear that, because here's the thing, right? I've mentioned this before. Go look at every football player who's ever gone on LeBron's show and criticized the league. They never played another game for their team. Every single one of them was traded before the next game. Every single one of them. I made a list of it before, right? Don't criticize the NFL. They don't play that kind of stuff. It's not the NBA where they're player friendly. It's different. It's management run. So we're going to see. The NFL is going to start putting their case together, and we're going to see what they do. There's a chance he could still get the Texans coaching job, but
he's not getting it.
No, but I'm just saying that is still an option on the table. But
they don't hire Josh McCown.
They're gonna probably hire Jason Garrett.
Man.
Oh, I do wonder what, but it's interesting, like I said, because he's suing the NFL. He's not suing these specific teams. He's suing the NFL. But I like that he called out players, and he called out not players, name. I like that he called out names, and he called out teams, and he was very specific, and he wasn't vague. And I think that's what a lot of people in the past haven't done, right? They've been very vague, didn't put all their pieces together. Hey, man, he's been on top of it. But now we're going to see the NFL build their case.
I was reading up on it earlier before we started the show. And he also said it's certain language in their contracts. I don't know how he knows this, but it's certain language in black coach contracts, black head coach contracts, and white head coach contracts. So that can be another Pandora's box, because you got to keep this stuff on file. So, if these contracts say otherwise, we want you to tank. We'll give you $100,000 a game. It's like, who would put this in a contract? And why do you want him to tank? Aren't you supposed to try to put the best 11 on the field at each time?
Hey, we talk about rigging games, man. Listen, that is the definition of rigging games. Paying your head coach to lose games. That's called rigging games. That's what that is. If you were paying your head coach to rig games, why would you not be having someone on the side profiting off of that to get that? That makes no sense. If you knew you were going to lose the game, that's another topic for another day.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but we appreciate you guys for tuning in.
Yeah, next week we're going to talk Super Bowl.
Like, subscribe, share, show your granny, tell granny to subscribe, tell mom to subscribe, tell your side to subscribe.
It's your boy Walt here with my boy Nico, John. Appreciate y'all coming out, checking us out. Hope to see y'all next week, and the week after that, and the week after that, and the week after that. Love y'all. Holla at y'all next week, man.
Yeah, y'all stay healthy. Come back next week. Come back Friday.
My names. That's all I need.
I'm gonna end the show like this. 7.
Your fingers are going in and out. There we go.
Hey, it was doing that earlier. I'm like this.
I was trying to put
up.
There you go.
We gotta get Walt. We gotta get Walt a green screen.
Yeah, man. It
would solve that problem right away.
Like the Thanos snap.
Oh, he back.
Right.
All right, y'all. Holla.
Hey.